Howdy traders, welcome to Price Plan Profit. I'm going to do today's trade review, what trades I took, what worked, what didn't, and cover the ES and NQ futures, looking at them from a day trading perspective from the PMZ. So let's get started. I day trade off of a 5-minute chart, and the cyan box that you see is the pre-market zone or the PMZ. Price below this zone, my bias is to the downside. Price above this zone, my bias is to the upside. So today, before the market opened, we created the inside candlestick pattern that I love to trade. So right away, I knew that we had immediate resistance above the PMZ. Although that really didn't matter because we actually never came back up to test the bottom of the PMZ here all day. So the ES futures opened below my pre-market zone and found support right away at the first target. Bounced up almost to the bottom of that PMZ, but really it rode that 5-minute cloud, the EMA cloud, all the way down to very close to this buy zone. It came within a point and a half of hitting the buy zone. I know traders got long here in the trendy room and the SPX room, but yeah, overall today was choppy to down action after the gap up on Sunday night and early Monday morning. Now, we did have a rally into the close, and oftentimes, if you rally into the close, you could see some follow through the next day. So, I will be watching for that. And of course, where the PMZ lines up will determine my bias to the upside or downside. Now let's look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ traded a little different than the ES today. It actually showed strength, relative strength. So, like the ES, it did open the day below the PMZ, but unlike the ES, it was able to rally up above the PMZ. Now, I don't have the targets on here, but I can tell you that this morning I had an upper liquidity chop target up here and a lower liquidity chop target down here. And I explained to the room that whenever we have immediate resistance above the PMZ and immediate support below the PMZ, I am looking for choppy market conditions. And that really played out on the NASDAQ today. Once we got above the PMZ, I actually went long here, the QQQ at the money calls, was able to trim out of half the position. And then, really, by fault of my own, I did not manage this trade properly. And what was a winner turned into a loser. You can check out the video tomorrow morning. I'll go into more detail about the mistakes I made and how I will correct those mistakes. But the NASDAQ traded very, very choppy today. The upper liquidity chop proved to be a strong resistance area. This was a high from the pre-market. And then the lower liquidity chop acted as support until price broke below it. Price actually came into my first buy zone. Then we created higher highs in that buy zone. And then we just chopped in that area for much of the afternoon before we got that end of day rally back up to the PMZ. So overall, not a super exciting trading day as far as the ES and NASDAQ goes. It was pretty choppy. You didn't have an opportunity really to go long on the S&P 500 unless you waited until price pulled back to about 64.08. we did get a bounce from there. As far as other trades that I took today, I mentioned QQQ, and you can check out that trade in the video that we'll post tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I really encourage you to check that out because I went in depth with the mistakes that I made and how I need to correct those. I did get a new position started in BBAI. This is a trade that I went over during our Saturday live session. BBAI, I waited. We opened up in this zone, but I told traders that I was going to wait until this $7.09 level was hit. And then on smaller time frames, I wanted to see us making higher highs higher lows with trendy turn signals and the monster Momo reversal arrow, which is this pink arrow that you see here. We did get those things, and so I went ahead and entered this trade. I chose the $6 calls that are expiring on August the 15th. First planned trim on this trade is $7.50, then $7.80, followed by 806, and then my ultimate profit zone is up here at 820 by 860. I will add to the trade down here at $6.39 or 93 cents, and the stop would be a daily candle close below $6.83. So on this trade, I have about 26 cents of risk, and the first target or the reward is about 41 cents, and then on up from there. So I liked the risk to reward and really actually got lucky that on the opening price was already in halfway into this zone. I do like that we're making higher lows here and getting those turn signals back to the upside. So that was a trade that was started today. I had a break even stop on a runner position in Hecla Mining with the weakness in gold that we saw today. I was not surprised that this break even stop on that last contract was hit. So we hit the break even stop. I am out of the trade. I was able to scale out of 75% of my position, and the one remaining contract hit break even. So I'm out of the trade. Would I be interested in adding back in or getting back into this trade? I would. I believe that if tech and the big names start pulling back, that we could see some strength in the metals and mining index or ETF, sorry. So I will consider entering this trade again given the right opportunity. Other than that, I still have my Delta Airlines position. That has just really, honestly, price hasn't done much of anything. I have not been able to get my ad yet, so I'm only in this half allocation. That first area of resistance is here where we created these inside candles and then gap down. Price did come close today. So I intend to trim tomorrow or when price gets up to about $56 by 56.60 here at the upper weekly edge. Then the next target is 57.88. And finally, the target zone to the upside is 60.11 by 66.82. And a stop would be a candle close here below 52.94. Other than that, I am in Freeport, Mackerman. I actually started this trade and was going to add to the trade, but I did not get my ad. I had a bid in here. I went to the smaller time frame charts. Once we made this low inside of the demand zone, I put my order in to add to the position, and it just never got filled. We started making higher lows, and so I went ahead and put the bid in, and it never filled. So given the opportunity again, I will look and see, do we continue the path of higher lows? In this case now, that means a dip back to 43.38. I would want to see 42.99 hold as support on either a 1 hour or a 2 hour chart. It does have immediate resistance on this small time frame chart, but my first trim would come in at or around 44.73, then 45.75, and finally targeting 47.99 by 52.61. I am wrong on this trade. If we get a candle close, in this case would be a daily candle close below 39.85. Now, if I get the add on this position, I started the position with $45 calls. My add will be the $42 or $43 calls because that is at the money. All right. Same expiration, September 19th, but different strike price if I'm adding in this green zone right here. I'm also still in IBIT. The trade's pretty flat for me. I got a great entry, and that has afforded me the luxury of being pretty flat on the trade. So the entry was down here on last Tuesday. I entered there, and now, like I said, it's up a little, but not enough. So what I am looking for as far as targets goes, I want to see 68.43. I want to see IBIT get above there. Then I'm targeting 69.06 by 70.07 on IBIT. Outside of IBIT, I'm still in QUBT. I put an alert here. We had made a low and right where I want to add. And I put an alert at the low, and at the end of the day, had this alert not went off telling me that we made a lower low, then I would have looked to add here. But we made a lower low, and then this candle here is not a candle that I can trade. This is after hours. So if tomorrow morning I wake up and QUBT is showing strength and we have not taken out this current low, let me remove the previous low there and tell you what that low is, 1593. If we do not make a lower low below 1593 and we create inside and up candle formation, or I start seeing trendy turn signals, which I am, but not on a candle that I can trade, this would be an entry here for me to add to full allocation on this trade. So for now, I'm going to just wait and see what price action does tomorrow on QUBT. So that's what I have long. I am long BBAI, just started the position. Delta Airlines half allocation, have not added yet, but price is coming close to a trim. Once I trim, I probably wouldn't be adding back into Delta Airlines. Freeport taking some heat there, but hopefully I will get to add to full allocation in my zone. Hecla, I am now out of it. The break-even stop was hit. IBIT, nothing to do. It's up a little, but has not made it to targets. I am no longer in QQQ calls. QUBT, I'm taking heat on, but waiting to see if I get an add or if we continue making higher lows within my buy zone, then I'll be adding to this position and trimming at the levels above. So that this position expires August 15th. So I have about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks there. TLT is a long-term leap trade, nothing to really do with that. It doesn't expire until March of 2026. All right, I hope you all had an awesome day of trading. I don't really prefer choppy days. I would like a trending day, either to the upside or downside, especially for my day trading. But there was plenty of opportunities to scalp the tight range that we traded in between, and hopefully you found some levels to do that off of. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you're not a member of the Trending Trading Room at Simpler Trading, like always, I invite you to join us there. You can find a link to sign up for a 30-day trial, and it's only $7. Come hang out with our trading community and watch and learn as we trade, or I trade my money in real time. All right. Until the next video, y'all have yourself a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you again soon.